Hello, Syngap Land. My name is Michael Graglia. This is episode 71 of Syngap 10, your 10-minute weekly briefing on everything you need to know about Syngap 1. I'm wearing my Be Kind and Cure Syngap 1 t-shirt. I've got empty coffee mugs all over my desk. I've been Syngapping it like crazy over here. A little bit late on last week's episode. Had visitors, apologize for that. But let me give you a lot of news because there's a lot of stuff going on. First of all, let's talk about drugs, things that can help our kids. If you remember way back to episode 27 in September 2021, we were talking about RareBase, this company who's going to do drug screens. Go listen to episode 27, the first few minutes, if you want to know more. Links in the show notes. I want to let you know that they have come back to us with some early promising data, and they have asked us to fund phase 2, which will be to now take some of the promising drug candidates and instead of testing them in wild-type cells, to test them in patient-derived cells. And we've agreed to do that in a couple of patient lines, so stay tuned. Probably a press release on this eventually, but I'm excited to share with you that project continues to move and RareBase is moving forward, so hang in there. And on the topic of drugs that can help our kids, if you remember episode 65, when I was coming back from the Dravet syndrome meeting, and then episode 67, I also shared the link to the Longboard talk. There is a company called Longboard Pharmaceuticals that has a molecule that can affect kids with epilepsy. It acts on the 5-HT-C receptor. And a lot of you know that a number of parents use an over-the-counter supplement called 5-HTP. The P is precursor, 5-HT is serotonin, to help our kids with gut motility and with mood. If you haven't tried 5-HTP, not a doctor, buy it over the counter. You never know. But this company, Longboard Pharma, has something called has a molecule that acts on 5-HT-C. And they're so excited about it that they have, they're doing a study. And normally these companies do these studies on molecules and they really do it like just for Dravet or just for LGS. And to their credit, Longboard Pharma is opening this up to all DEEs. So if you have a Syngapian over 12 who has 4 or more motor seizures a month, I want you to listen carefully. There is a study you could sign up for right now with a molecule that could really help reduce seizures. If your child is over 12 and you have 4 or more motor seizures a month, Longboard Pharma is having a study called the Pacific Trial. I really love the surfing theme. These guys are in San Diego. They're going all the way. And you should consider signing up for that study. Links in the show notes. I also have a link to a talk they gave at the Dravet Syndrome Foundation meeting. I met the CMO, really cool company. Check them out. If your child is over 12 and has 4 or more motor seizures a month, check them out. This is episode 71. If you go back to the previous episode 70 in Syngap 10, I talked ad nauseum about the seizure tracker that Praxis is running. We are still recruiting for the seizure tracker. We need 30 days of data. If your kid has a lot of seizures, if your kid has no seizures, it's still worth your time to do the seizure tracker. Please listen to episode 70. If you're like, why would I do that? Just listen to it. Do the seizure tracker, right? So I have links to episode 70 and I have links to the webinar we did about this. If you are in Citizen, then you should have an email inviting you to the seizure tracker survey. You'll be paid $100 for doing it. If you are not in Citizen, what are you thinking? Get in Citizen, right? We'll talk about Citizen in a second. But sign up for Citizen and sign up for the seizure tracker. It is informing Praxis's work on Syngap. Praxis is developing ASOs for Syngap right now. They are one of the 2 companies who are publicly working on Syngap. We should support them in any way we can. Speaking of Praxis, I wanted to remind you about 2 webinars in September. One of them is Praxis and Invitae, talking about the power of patient data. Praxis and Invitae are doing a webinar together on September 8th, talking about the importance and the power of patient data. Anyone who's in Citizen, which is, by the way, owned by Invitae, you are part of that solution. You should watch that webinar. You should be proud of your work, and you should see how Praxis is thinking about their work with that data. That webinar is going to be amazing, and you should watch it. And then on September 29th, Dr. Ben Prosser at UPenn is going to talk about targeting alternative splicing of Syngap 1 using ASOs. What does that mean? Well, you got to watch the webinar. But for those of you who went to the Karen Lieb Gala last year, you know Ben Prosser is an exceptional speaker. For those of you who've heard me rave about him, you know that he is an STXBP1 dad, and you know that his lab works on STXBP1 and Syngap 1. And we are huge fans of Ben Prosser. We are huge fans of the team at UPenn. And that is going to be an amazing webinar. September 29th, 9 Pacific. Make sure you put that on your calendar. Links in the show notes, of course. register, come to that webinar. Both of those webinars are real musts for people who are engaged in the Syngap community. And I want to just point out, right, there's more and more families getting diagnosed all the time. So if some of us are like, Mike, you keep talking about this Ben Prosser guy. Yeah, I know, but some people are new. And all of us need to realize that progress is happening really fast right now. So tune in and come to these webinars and listen to what Ben's got to say, because there's a lot of hope, a lot of excitement. I'm going to come back to Citizen for a hot second and talk about registries, because someone said to me, STXBP1 just had a meeting this past weekend. Great meeting, great team. Charlene's an amazing leader. And they had this cool card that they gave all the families. And as the families went around, they said, are you all in? And it was like, have you signed up for Citizen? Check 1. Have you signed up for Simons? Check 2. Have you signed up for RareX? Check 3. And parents might have been like, well, why would I sign up for 3 registries? Well, let me tell you why, because you have the exact same opportunity here. Number 1, especially in the US, sign up for Citizen first. Sign up for Citizen first. Okay, why? Number 1, to have control of your medical records. Your kids are going to live longer than 7 years and your medical records won't, right? Institutions do not have to keep records that are older than 7 years. So as soon as you sign up for Citizen, all those records get transferred to Citizen. Now you have control of your records. Number 2, pharma actually licenses the data from Citizen to work on our disease. Multiple companies have licensed that data to work on our disease. You would be crazy not to sign up for Citizen and make sure that the pharma companies understand your specific child. It's free. SRF pays for it, right? So sign up for Citizen, get your data in there, and have the opportunity to participate in critical surveys like the seizure tracker see above, which, by the way, you get paid for. So Citizen, number 1, get your medical records in one place. Number 2, Simons Searchlight. Simons Searchlight is backed by the Simons Foundation. The Simons Foundation is huge, very well funded, very professional, very well resourced. And they have their registry for a lot of autism genes. And what's cool about Simons is they call you once a year and a genetic counselor interviews you. So there's really quality data in there, because it's not just parents like guessing at the answer. It's a genetic counselor talking to you and writing in the answer. And Simons is a tremendous supporter of SRF, a tremendous supporter of Syngap 1, and the Simons Searchlight registry is the second thing I would sign up for. So if you're like, there's so much to do, where do I begin? Sign up for Citizen. Number 2, sign up for Simons. So medical records, check. Genetic counselor annual interviews, check. Supporting somebody who supports Syngap, check. Number 3, RareX. RareX is the new kid on the block for these registries, but they are top shelf. The CEO is Charlene, same CEO of STXBP1. We know her, we trust her, we like her, and they were started by RareX was started by Nicole Boyce, who also started Global Genes, right? It's a very tight-knit family here. And so what RareX does is it has all these tremendous questions, but it is a platform that darn near all of the developmental and epileptic encephalopathies are using. So what that gives researchers the chance to do is compare Syngap to STX to whatever. And that's pretty exciting. So if you're just like an overachiever, you're like, I want to do everything. Citizen, Simons, RareX. If you're like, I have no time, I can't do anything, I don't care, sign up for Citizen. And if you're somewhere in between, just work your way through that list. Everybody must sign up for Citizen. It is essential we get all that data in one place so pharma can license it. And then Simons is the next thing I would sign up for, and then RareX is the third thing I would sign up for. That's it. Those are the only 3 registries you need to be a part of. And I will point out that Citizen and Simons do have a collaboration agreement, which one day they will drop a press release on. And RareX is right in there too. So that's my spiel on registries, but sign up for Citizen. You've heard me say that before. By the way, hey, we're having a conference in December 1st, and I just looked. We have like 20 families signed up so far. And then I looked at the list of hotel reservations and the list of people who'd signed up for the conference, and that list didn't match perfectly. So for the people who've signed up for the conference don't have a hotel room, please get a hotel room. For the people who signed up for a hotel room and didn't sign up for the conference, this room will be full, right? Thursday, December 1st is a science meeting. Friday, December 2nd is a family meeting, right? If you are just going to come to the family meeting, you'll probably be able to sneak in. I don't think we're going to fill a room that takes 200 for the family meeting. I could be wrong. The science meeting is going to be full. We will have to turn people away for the science meeting. So if you're planning on coming to hearing the best and the brightest talk about Syngap all day long on the medicine science side, you are most welcome as family members, and you should sign up right now. Syngap.fund/treat. We are about to send thousands of postcards to every neurologist in America inviting them to that meeting. The room will be full. If you want to come, the time to sign up was yesterday. The conference is December 1st and 2nd. Extra credit, I just want to throw this in there. There's a Developmental and Epileptic Encephalopathy, DEE, consortium who we know and are friends with, and they are doing a survey on COVID. If you want to share your thoughts, it's an IRB-approved study. It took me like 2.5 minutes to do it. Links in the show notes. And then, of course, as usual, there's a lot of other events in the back half of the year, which you guys should be aware of. As you know, we have the Karen Lieb Gala in Jersey, the Syngap Soiree in Atlanta, and the Scramble for Syngap Golf Tournament in Travelers Rest, South Carolina, as well as a number of other conferences that are happening. Global Genes, to name one, is in 2 weeks. So all those links are in the show notes. Please look through the show notes, take the survey, sign up for Citizen, do the seizure tracker, register for the webinars. It's going to be a busy 4 months, friends, but there's a lot of good things coming. I look forward to seeing many of you at the Syngap conference on December 1st in Nashville, Tennessee. Register, get your plane tickets, get your hotel room. We'll see you there. There's a lot of good things happening for Syngap. It's a good time to be a Syngap parent. And for those of you who are new to our community, welcome. Stay hopeful. Future's looking good.